Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of my Roblox Studio beginner series. In this video, I'm going to be covering the very basics of scripting. The topics I'm going over are printing, data types, accessing parts and editing them through code, and using basic math in code. To start off, we're going to go to the top window and click on the View tab. We're going to make sure the Explorer and properties are open, as well as the output. Every single time there's an error in your scripts and your code, it's going to send that error in red text to the output. In the error, it's going to tell you which script, which file of code has the error, which line the error is on, and what the error is. Also, the output displays all the messages that you print, and we're about to get into printing. So, first things first, in the Explorer, go to the workspace and click on the plus. I want you to add a script, and if the script isn't here, just type it in. And make sure you select the script, not the local or the module script. When you first open it, it's going to open to this, print hello world. I'm just going to run this and show you what happens. It sends a message that says hello world to the output. So, printing just sends whatever message you give it or whatever value you put in these brackets or parentheses to the output. Okay, well, why is this useful? You might be thinking this looks really useless. This is actually very useful for debugging. Let's say I had a huge file of code and something was going wrong, because sometimes when you have an error in your code, it won't send an error to your output. So you can put in prints and write like, line 15 just executed, line 20 executed. And if something doesn't print, you can figure out where something's going wrong. So now that that's out of the way, we're just going to get rid of that, and we'll go over data types. So data types, there are 4 data types. There is a number, which is just a number. There's 50, 700, 9 million. Then there's a string. So number, and a string is just some text. So you just put 2 quotations and any text in it. I could just put I like sports. And there's 3 ways to make a string. There's this way with double quotations. There is single quotations. I like fruit. And there is 2 square brackets. I like coding. Next we have a Boolean. A Boolean is a true or a false value. And last is an object value. An object value, I'll actually get into that later, but you can print any value, any data, any type of data. I can't just print strings. I can also print numbers. I can print 50. Sends it right to the output. And I can also print booleans. as you can see. Okay, so now we're going to go over accessing parts and editing those parts through code. So clear your script, go to your editor, and add a part. Now we have to define this part. Tell the script which part we want to talk about, which part we want to edit. We do this by typing in game.workspace.part. You could also type in workspace.part. They both work the exact same, it's just a personal preference. Game.workspace.part is just what I'm used to. So what did I just do? Game defines the game. Everything here, the workspace, the material service, the teams, everything. Dot workspace. Dot means you're accessing whatever is inside, everything that's inside with whatever you just defined. So game.workspace defines the workspace. Game.workspace.part defines the part inside the workspace inside the game. So now we'll put in another dot to access all the properties or settings of the part. First thing we'll do is change the part's anchored status. Anchored. Anchored equals to, whenever you change any value, you always put an equal sign. If we look in the properties, scroll down. Oh, that's not the part. Anchored is a checkbox. A checkbox is just a boolean. If it's unchecked, it's false. If it's checked, it's true. So here it's unchecked. We'll change it to true to make it checked. Next we'll go game.workspace.part.name equals to, now to change the name is a piece of text, so we have to change it, make it a string. And I'll change it to car. Now we'll type in game.workspace.car because we changed the name and it goes by name. Dot transparency. If we scroll and look at transparency, it's a number and it goes on a scale of 0 to 1. I'll change the transparency to 0.5. So now, if we run the game, we can see the part is more transparent, its name's changed to car, and anchored is on. Now we'll look at basic math functions while coding. Let's clear the script. You can get rid of the part if you want. In the workspace, add a number value. Let's type in game.workspace.value because we have to change the property, the actual value of the item, equals to, let's make it 4. Whenever we want to perform a math function, we have to get the value of what we have to get the number we want to change first. Game.workspace.value equals to game.workspace.value. So now we're changing the value to the value plus 5. But let's run this. We'll check the value, see the value went to 9 because we set the value to 4 and added 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. I'm actually just going to add a print and then type game.workspace.value.value so we don't have to go in the workspace and check. And if you look at this line, this is a pretty long line of code, and you don't want to keep typing that. So an easier way to do this would be getting rid of the second half of the line, typing in plus equals. So this is just how you add to this value without typing in this whole line over again. So if we do plus equals 5, I'm going to add another print right here actually. Print game.workspace.value.value. Run it. See the value changes to 4 and adds 9. And of course, there's not just addition. We know there's subtraction, multiplication, and division. The signs we use are the plus sign, the minus sign, the star sign, and the slash. So it's the plus for addition, the minus for subtraction, the star for multiplication, and the slash for division. So if we want to subtract instead, we put minus equals. If we run it, we set it to 4, we remove 5, it becomes minus 1. If we want to multiply, we do star equals, and if we want to divide, we do slash equals. So that wraps up everything. I hope you learned something, even if it was just something really small. And I suggest that you take everything I just taught you and mess around with it on your own. Figure out, see what you can make with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.